I'm Molly. I'm the author of Dark Bloom. I'm a book reviewer for Fanfi Addict. I am the co-founder of the Dark Veil Society. First, let's do some Molly updates. I am really getting through some edits on my sequel, Dark Bloom 2, which that will not be the title. Title is pending. I prefer to worry about those things later. I will be attending Horror on the Rappahannock in May, which is really exciting. There's going to be some pretty big name horror authors there. Alma Katsu, who wrote The Hunger, which sits on my shelf, and I've started it a couple times. I didn't DNF it, but I paused it to read something else. I'll get there. Also, Nick Roberts, a couple others. I have also begun a sticky note system. A lot of times I get home and I have time to sit at my computer, and then I sit down and I'm like, what in the world do I need to get done? And then I just sit there doing stupid stuff that's not productive at all. So I now have a sticky note system, which is really helpful so far. I can just look over at my monitor and see what I need to get done, and that's fantastic. What sparked this was my review for A Hot Dose of Hell by Steve Stark. It released on Fanfi Addict, and I was excited and I shared it and I was like, cool, that's that. And then a week went by and I realized I didn't post my reviews to Amazon or Goodreads. Like, how dare I? So I was really upset by that. So I was like, okay, sticky note system. I will look at it, see all the things I need to do. Once reviews are released, I will go put them in the proper places. This helps with way more than just reviewing, but it's been nice so far. Today, I have another book review for you. I just finished the audiobook of Wistful Ascending by JCM Berne. So let's get into that. I am always hesitant when it comes to sci-fi books. They intimidate me. Here's why. Especially when listening to them on audio, I am always worried that the info dumps are going to go over my head and I am going to feel lost or not understanding what's going on. That's probably a really dumb perspective, but horror is my favorite genre, mostly because I just really enjoy deliciously creepy, dark things that make me think. Horror tends to be pretty blunt, pretty in your face, pretty easy to understand, especially for someone like me who, I don't know how to say this without insulting myself, but someone who just, I have a lot going on in my head all the time. So if a book is, vague or hinting at things but not outright saying it, or giving me so much information I don't know how to process it all, I will tend to lose my focus on a book. Then there's books like Wistful Ascending that prove me wrong. So Wistful Ascending starts out with this epic battle, this really terrifying event. You think that the main character is about to die. It's crazy. You don't know who anybody is. You don't know what's going on. And then the prologue ends, and we start with chapter 1, which states that it occurs 12 days earlier. So our main character is Toe Chief Second Class Rohan, and he is what they consider a hybrid. He is part human, he is part Ildrak, which makes him this incredibly powerful human being. He has powers, he is strong, he is trained for war. But he's done all that. He's fought in many battles, and he is trying to live a peaceful and quiet life. He works as a tow chief for the space station Wistful, where that's literally what he does. Ships come in to dock at the station. He pulls them in by hand because that's how powerful he is. He docks them at the station, and then he goes and grabs the next one. Except these 12 days before this big, scary fight at the beginning, he's kind of finding out that he can't really leave his past completely behind because things keep coming up, things he has to deal with as a hybrid, not as a tow chief. So how is the world building done in Wistful Ascending? The world building is primarily done with dialogue, which I found really enjoyable. Honestly, the majority of this book is dialogue, which that might throw some people off, but not for me. The conversations are so natural, so interesting, and so funny that I didn't even realize I was being dropped bits and pieces of information about this world. I just thought I was listening to a conversation between Rohan and a space bear. Next thing I know, I have historical events under my belt. I know about several of the species in this world. I know how the space station works, how old Wistful is. I now know a lot of things, and I didn't even realize I was technically learning. I was just enjoying the conversation and the banter between the characters. Parts of this book were hilarious and had me laughing out loud in my car, driving to work or from work. Just very well done. Rohan's voice in this book is funny too because he's part human, and the way he speaks is very human. It's just very casual, cool man, thanks. His speech is just very human, and he can be pretty snarky at times. The best part of this is the way it contrasts with the other characters in the book. The other characters that are alien species or artificial intelligence, and they're speaking very formally and without humor, and that makes his statements even funnier sometimes. Some of my favorite moments were the conversations between Rohan and the space station Wistful, because she's not a person at all. She's just an AI. And he would ask questions. Sometimes he would be talking to himself, and he would just ask a rhetorical question, or a question that he knew the answer to, but he really didn't want to hear the true answer. And she would answer him so honestly, and she made me laugh a lot. I really liked Wistful's character in this. So this book, rather than it being chock full of space adventure after space adventure or fight after fight scene, it actually really takes its time. And I've really enjoyed just kind of being able to relax with Rohan at a dinner with friends, or listen to him play frisbee with a one of the neighborhood kids. There's always the undertones of things that Rohan is dealing with, but it's not the focal point at every moment. You're not just in a constant state of worry or state of, well, how's he going to get out of this? It does pick up towards the second half, I would say. You're still getting these little moments of, Rohan's just trying to be cool, calm, and collected. So his interactions with people are still very worry-free, carefree, but you are starting to get further and further into these confrontations that he's having with people. And then towards closer to the end, you're getting a lot of action. You're getting a lot of Rohan kicking butt and just a lot of really great scenes. So I listened to this on audio, and I typically find most narrators pretty enjoyable. But there are times when I feel like a narrator was just made for a book. And Wayne Farrell was made to narrate this book. He did such a perfect job. He had so many accents. His Rohan voice was just so perfect. I absolutely adored the narration. It was so engaging. It kept me just so interested in it the entire time. I really loved it. Wistful Ascending was just such a fun sci-fi read. I absolutely loved it. It was exciting. It was hilarious. It had me completely immersed in it the entire time. I don't know how to explain it, but I have Wistful. I have this whole space station pictured in my head. These space bears, the Rogesh, just all of these characters and species just playing out in my mind. Such a great book. If you like sci-fi adventures, if you like humor, if you like books that have exciting plots, but know how to take their time with them, this book, you've got to listen to it or read it, but I definitely recommend the audiobook. It was incredible. JCM Berne did a fantastic job with this. So Wistful Ascending is book 1 in the Hybrid Helix series. There are 6 total that JCM Berne has out. Wistful Ascending, as well as the others, I suppose, they're considered, he describes them as a superhero space opera, which is a really great way to describe it. I'm still kind of learning what space opera means. Guys, remember, I come from a lifetime of pretty much only reading horror and thriller, so I'm still getting used to the tropes and the terms and what everything means. But I definitely, that certainly fits. Rohan is a superhero, an unlikely one, a guy that doesn't want to be a superhero, but he is. He's incredible. So go check out these books. I highly recommend them. I'll have some links below for you guys. That is my review of Wistful Ascending by JCM Berne. I absolutely loved it. If you enjoyed this video, do the thing, like and subscribe, share to your friends, tell your mom about me, send a link to your brother, just do the thing. I would love to tell you what's up next for Molly's channel, but I'm kind of a mood recorder. I just kind of record what I'm in the mood for that day. So just stay tuned for the next one and stay macabre.